All right, welcome everyone. This is going to be the weekly recap for our live chat room ending on August 6th of 2021. The lesson that I want to talk about today is the one thing you must do if you want to be a successful trader. If you do not do this, I promise you, you will not be a successful trader. And the majority of traders that are out there will not do this, and that's why they are not successful. So this is a very, very important lesson. Please pay attention, because if you want to be a long-term successful trader, this is an absolute must. I don't know of any successful traders after doing this for 40 years that don't do this. If you are not doing this, I can almost guarantee you, you will not be a successful long-term trader. So anyway, we'll get into that. But first, let's look at the weekly stats for this prior week and see how we did. Okay, so here we go. These are going to be the naked PAP setup results for this week. Starting on the 1st, ending on the 6th on Friday. Once again, these are what we call naked stats, meaning that we are not using any additional filtration. You've heard me talk about there's actually 5 different dimensions to the market. We are not trading all 5 here. We're not looking at all 5. We're just looking at the first 2, which are naked. You need the other 3 dimensions in order to get a full picture of market movement and also to see what direction the market is moving in. Okay, so that's why I call them naked. Don't recommend you trade like this, but the idea here is to show you that even as a naked stat, these setups do provide some very strong probabilities that you're going to be on the right side of the trade based on our entry points. Okay, and we teach all of that. These first trades of the day can also be seen if you decide you want to just try before you buy. They are available in the trial room, so you can try those and you can track along with us. They are called out in the live room, all right, so you can get an idea, and they're also marked on the charts when we make those trades, so you'll be able to see those in the trial room. But nonetheless, still the stats were pretty good. As I mentioned last week, I'm focusing on the US yen and the euro. Those tend to be the strongest this week as well. I will follow that trend. I'm going to continue to trade the US yen and the euro US going into this new week, so that is going to be my focus. I highly suggest, if you are an experienced trader, don't trade more than 2 pairs. Also, I would stick with 1 or 2 patterns that you like and become and master those patterns. Okay, if you're new to trading, which I understand a lot of you are, I would stick to just 1 pair. Stick with the Aussie US or the Euro US or the US yen and master it, because each one of them have a little bit different personality. Also, don't trade more than 2 patterns per pair and master those patterns. Master the pair. Understand its personality. They all have a little bit different personality, so it's very important you understand that, and also find the 1 or 2 patterns that really resonate with you and master those patterns. 1 pair. That's where you're going to start having success. All right, don't be jumping around and trying to trade everything and trading too many patterns. All right, most accounts can't handle that type of volatility. All right, so stick with 1 or 2. As far as my CB trades, once again, I did a little bit on Monday night. Had actually a pretty good Monday night, but then again, of course, full in on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Had a decent return overall on CBs. Keeping in mind that CB is something that is only taught after somebody has mastered core. So, as a new trader, you cannot come in and buy the CB package. You have to master core. I have to see that you've mastered core before I will allow you to go to CB, because CB is really for full-time serious traders. All right, so it is at a whole new level. I teach you the most important. I'll teach you about the 5th dimension in CB, which is, I don't really want to go into the details right now, but there are 5 dimensions. You're not going to get the 5 dimensions in core. You'll learn about the 5th dimension and some additional patterns when you upgrade to CB. But once again, I have to see that you've mastered core. If you can't make money in core, you're not going to make money in CB. All right, so have to master core. Right, this is not about just selling you systems. This is about turning you into a successful trader. And I've got to see that you can be successful. You have the discipline. You can spot the setups before it will allow you to even get into CB. Okay, that's the way it is. So anyway, That being said, let's go into talking about the one thing. If you're not doing this, I can almost guarantee you're not a successful trader. Every successful trader I know, after spending 40 years trading, they all do this. They do it every single day. And if you're not doing it and you're not willing to put in the time to do it, then you might as well stop trading. All right? Don't even get into trading because you're going to fail. I don't care what anybody tells you. I'm telling you like it is. I'm a straight shooter, and this is the reality of trading. All right? So you want to have the luxury of being self-employed and trading for a living, you got to do this, okay? This is a business. It's a job. Got to put in the time. You're not going to be successful without it. So what is that one thing? Let's get into it now. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so a lot of you are not used to looking at regular bar charts, right? These are regular bar charts. These are not candlesticks. Now, before they even came out with candlesticks, this is what I was using way back when, back in the 80s. And the reason I like looking at bar charts is there's really no difference, because we were looking at the open, high, low, close relationship prior to candlesticks. Candlesticks was just an easier way to look at it visually, but I find that it's a lot easier to identify setups and patterns by looking at these charts. But here's the one thing that's absolutely critical you must do, and that is screen time. All right, you must put in a lot of screen time, and that means daily screen time looking at these charts. Now, what I used to do when I started is I would go through here, and every single day I would print out my 1 minutes and I'd print out my 5 minutes. And you can print out dailies if you like. It doesn't really matter. The point is that I would print them out. I'd put them in a 3-ring binder, and every single night I would do nothing but just go through those charts. That's all I do. I just visually look at them and see if I notice setups and different patterns. And you will be surprised how much you will learn by doing that. But the more screen time that you put in, the better trader you're going to be. You can't get around it, all right? Because the markets act differently from time to time, and you have to know whether a particular pair that you're trading is acting normally, or if it's not acting normally, is it out of its characteristic movement, or is it acting like it typically should, okay? Because all of these kind of get out of phase from time to time. They get a little what I call schizo, and you have to be able to identify that. You have to know what kind of market that you're in. And if you don't put in the screen time, you would never, ever know that. So I understand the yen. I understand the US yen very, very well. I understand its personality. I understand its characteristics. I know when it's good to trade. I know when it's best to stand aside and not trade. Never know that unless you put in the screen time to do it. All right. So what I suggest, if you're new, let's say for some reason you cannot sit in front of the screen all day like some of us, then at the end of the night, come in and make a picture of your charts. Make a picture of your 1 minutes, make a picture of your 5 minutes, and start accumulating those. Print those out and put them in a 3-ring binder. And then before you go to bed every night, just look through them. Just look through them. Because what happens if you don't identify it, something in your subconscious is probably going to start seeing things that you don't see. And all of a sudden, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to realize, oh, I see this particular pattern. And you're going to be able to go back and you're going to be able to identify it by going back and look at your charts. Okay, so obviously the best for anybody, if you want to be a full-time trader, obviously is to be watching this live daily, put in that screen time. If for some reason you can't, but you want to get to that point, at least print out your charts and put them in a 3-ring binder like I did, and just go through them over and over again every night. Just every night, just look through them. You don't have to necessarily be looking for something. If nothing else, just glancing at them and watching to see how they act. So I have a 5 minute up. I have a 1 minute up here of the US yen, because it is trading live right now. I have the 5 minute down here of the US yen, and just do that. Do that every single day, and you will start to see that you will start to become a lot more successful, because you start seeing things that you wouldn't have seen without doing that. If you're not willing to do this, I highly suggest you stop trading and give your money to a professional, because the professionals do this every single day. If you think that you can get around this and not put in the time, then I promise you none of you will make money. It's just one of those things. It's an absolutely necessary evil. It's just like if you want to become a professional quarterback, you can't skip practice and think that you're going to be a professional quarterback, all right? Everybody wants to skip practice. Everybody wants it easy. Everybody wants that one tool that's just, they're just going to be able to sit back and trade it. Folks, doesn't work that way. There is no such thing that exists. We can give you the best tools, but once again, you're going to have to work with those tools, all right? It's your responsibility to become a successful trader. It's not my responsibility. It's somebody else's. It all comes down to you. If you can't make money, it's nobody else's fault. It's not the program. It's not the technique. It's not the tools. It's you, because you have not put in the time to learn how to use those tools, all right? So that's the reality of trading. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but nobody that I've seen that's ever been able to do this part-time without putting in the time has made any money. That being said, try this, and I think you're going to really find that your trading is going to improve. And just do it every single day. Even if you take a vacation, even if I take a vacation, I'm off 3 or 4 days, and I come back, it takes me a while to get back in the swing of things, because the markets kind of go through these different phases, and you have to understand what is it going through right now? How's it acting? Got to get back in tune with it, all right? So this is something that has to be done every single day. And if I miss a few days, I like to go back and I like to kind of get into the swing of things, look at the action, get a feel for what's going on before I start trading again. So that's my best advice I can do. Once again, we'll be back again next week for our next weekly recap. I hope everybody have a great week. If you have any questions, go to binaryprostrategies.com. Shoot me your questions. Be glad to answer those questions for you. And also, please give me a thumbs up if you do like these videos. Also, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so I can keep you updated on the latest new videos that are coming out. Have a great week, and we will see you next weekend. Take care.